the extent to which we glamorize lack of sleep and sort of glamorize doing a lot of work at the cost of lack of sleep is to the detriment of many people. I think we need to take a step back and realize that sleep is as important as eating, as important as any other thing in our life. Breathing. If you look at sort of human, or look at any organism, right, there's always downtime that they need to do to repair themselves. From what I understand, we don't really understand sleep very well, but it's an important thing that we all need to remain happy and healthy. And I think we need to really stress this, that the idea that you can go without sleep and you can work longer hours at the cost of sleeping is absolutely nonsense. And I see this conversation all the time. And in academia, it's like a big badge of honor to work really hard at the cost of sleeping. And this is kind of the thing that you'd see with people doing all-nighters or, in the academic game, you're supposed to just work all the time. And it's absolutely just a misnomer that sleep is not important. I think the critical thing, if you think about all the patterns in your life that you would have had a breakdown of sorts, right? Whether it was a breakdown in your own, just productivity or a breakdown emotionally, it's all because of lack of sleep. And I think if we get back to thinking about sleep as an important component that we all need, and it's not like just a little bit, we need to have a decent amount of sleep every night, but then on the weekends we need to have that sort of rest and relaxation that allows us to do good things when you got to get back to doing things. Having a little bit of time off where you sleep in on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning is completely acceptable. That's a really positive thing for human behavior. And I can't believe that this is like glorified, the sort of behaviors that we see in, particularly within the academic game. We sort of glorify working all the time. People don't realize this, but it's absolutely true, is that it's glorified to come in at all hours of the day and night. And if you're not there, and if somebody is not working or in the lab, then they're somehow bad in some sort of way. And it's just bizarre that this culture has progressed in the way that it has. I think in many ways the culture has been around for a long time, but we need to start recognizing that sleep is as important as any other human function. Just think about all of the sort of necessities that we need as humans, food, some sort of safe place to be, relationships, all of those kind of things, and particularly sleep, always seems to be neglected. I think it's a critical component that sort of fits everything together. That's the thing, like, if you don't sleep, all the rest of it sort of falls apart. And the moments where I have not slept or, had a long time of not sleeping, I've just ground to a halt. And it's cost me a lot more time and effort in the long run because of that. I remember, having a couple of sort of breakdowns because I wasn't sleeping enough. And you just kind of, it's not necessarily you don't stop working, but, you just kind of lose meaning with everything that you actually do. And those are the moments where, I had crisis basically in my life, right? So you need to take time to sleep as much as you possibly can whenever you get it, and not feel guilty to get that sleep, to sleep in, to go to bed early, all of those kind of things is just healthy human behavior that you need to rely on. So we need to stress that a lot more, to have more moments of sleep, moments that allow you to just not feel guilty to lay in bed on a Saturday and Sunday morning, and even throughout the weekdays if you need to, take that time to actually do it. I think it's all vitally important for our well-being, and it's important for us to live happy and healthy lives by having that time to sleep. I think, we need to remember that at most, if you get 4 to 6 hours of work done in a day, you're good. That's ultimately that most of us actually do. And anything beyond that, people are just lying about, to be honest. So you need to eat, you need to get to work, you need to do various things with family and friends, and you also need to sleep. So 4 to 6 hours a day is all that the average person is ever going to work on any given thing. Now, they're going to tell you all sorts of different stories with that, but those are just absolutely not true if you look at how people actually work. They just work a little bit at a time. Our capacity to actually sit there for a long time like a machine just does not happen. And we need to recognize that. We need sleep. We need to, enjoy life in different aspects. But, most of all, if you don't do those things, everything else falls apart.